Okay, here we go. Chevra, Parshas Kedoshim. Parshas Kedoshim, I have two thoughts I want to share with everyone. One is from the Hiliger of Shamshon Fall Hirsch, and the other one it sounds very scary, but it's right from Rav Shimon Shkup, and it's possibly the most famous piece Rav Shimon Shkup ever wrote, which is the Akdama to his Sefer. And as we're going to see in a few moments, what's incredible is if you say the word Shimon Shkup, you say the word Shari Yosher, it evokes the most intense limud Torah was Rav Shimon Shkup. Yet, as we'll see in a few moments, what he writes in his Akdama happens to be one of the probably one of the most famous Akdamas. A lot of Akdamas are famous, but let's get there. Let's get there. And of course, we'll try to tie it all together. So we're going to start with Rosh Hashanah Hirsch, Parshas Kedoshim. It's very famous that what's Kedoshim? Kedoshim means to be even, it's a higher level. There's something usher, there's something mutter, and then there's something called Kedoshim. It's to even not do that which is necessarily mutter. And famously, I'm sure there's been many a screaming that people have heard in their lives of the famous words of the Ramban that we shouldn't be a novel b'rshus HaTorah. And I think, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to say it, but ad infinitum, people have been told that just because it's kosher, just because it's mutter, doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, and it's true. And that's what the Ramban says, but the problem is sometimes when it's with such force, what we do naturally is we start to repel it and we don't want to hear it. And it's like, Rabbi, at least it's kosher. At least it's mutter. We got bigger problems. Stop screaming about the mutter things, or else we'll start with the usher things. And it's true. But what's number one important to realize before anything else, and we've said this so many times, it's not all or none. We feel I'm not a parush, I'm not ready to be one that, I like good things, I like nice things. I can't have it, it's mutter, what's the problem? The point is, but we can realize that there has to be a level in everyone's life that there's something that they could walk away from and say, I don't need that. I could have it. It's mutter. It's kosher. I don't need it. To walk away from, it could be the smallest of things. That's tapping into real Kedusha. That's what it means. Kedoshim to you. Halavai, one day we should all be on the level of Rav Aaron Leib Steinman, which no one will ever be, so there will never be another Rav Aaron Leib, living his whole life without a back to his chair, living his whole life, I think there were 2 coffees his whole life. We do more than that before we daven Shachris, each day, and that was his whole life. And okay, that's Rav Aaron Leib, but in our own lives, there just has to be a place of something. And the reality, Rosh Hashanah Hirsch comes here and he says, that what does it mean to be Kedoshim? It means Perushim. It means to be a little bit separated. And he says, and I'm going to read his words, and I know the English is not his words. Of course, he wrote it in German, but whoever wrote this English tried, and he did a great job in containing the poetry of Rav Shimon Hirsch. Not that I would know, because I don't understand the German, but the English poetry sounds like it's something. But he says, Kedusha is attained through mastery over all of one's powers and faculties, and over all the temptations and inclinations associated with them, to be ready and willing to do God's will. Which means we don't make a move, and this is a very high level. Self-mastery is the highest art a man can practice. And he says, very important, he says, it doesn't mean neglecting, stunting, killing, destroying any of our powers. And I want to repeat that again. When it means to be kadosh, when it means to be parush, when it means to separate from something, it doesn't mean to say, oh, so I have this talent. No, it's not Jewish. I have this inclination. No, that's not what it means. He says there's no such thing that have been given to man, neither good nor bad. Whatever we have is given from God to us to channel in the right direction. Famously, I think many people know that one who has the inclination for blood, yes, he could be a murderer, or he could be a shechet, or he could be a moil. Inherently, it's not bad. And I think in our world nowadays, it's very famous that a lot of these quote unquote bad, the word bad is ridiculous, ADHD and people who can't focus, right? So they'll be the next, CEO of the biggest corporation in the world because he can't focus. So he's just going to take care of everything at once. Or he'll be the next whatever. Yeah, maybe he won't be able to read books inside. So there's no such thing as anything being bad nor good, but rather everything is given to us for the exalted purpose to do Hashem's will. And that's lesson number one of Kedusha, is that we have to find a place to be a drop higher, a drop more elevated in our lives. And in reality, and I like to add on over here, and I don't know if he's saying this precise point, but this is another application of Kedusha. And we're sitting in the Shiva, or Shiva Yechil Per was Nifter. It was actually right before Shabbos. I'll tell you a story of Gadlus in a moment. But when we talk about Kedusha, we're talking about something that's not mutter nor aser. It's mutter, but you still shouldn't do it. And if there's one thing that I could repeat, that Ray Per Zatzal would live his life, it's not about is it mutter or aser. You have to be erlich. What does it mean to be erlich? It means what's deeper than all of it. And supposedly, there's so many, exactly. And there's so many stories. I'll just tell two quick ones. One was there was apparently a building the yeshiva was buying, and the mortgage broker told them that if someone sleeps in the house for one night, then it becomes a private residence. And then afterwards, they say, okay, we don't want to stay here. And then we could convert it to a dorm, or then we could rent it, whatever it is. It would save $15,000. Let's go back a bunch of years. $15,000 is real money. So when they asked Rosh Hashiva what they should do, he said, you know what my answer is. What's the question? Yeah, it's mutter, it's true. Letter of the law, we could bend it a little bit. It's not the right thing to do. That's what Hashem wants. It's something deeper, so it's the same way. It's mutter, it's kosher. It has a hechsher. Is that what Hashem wants? And again, not getting lost in the grand plan, but making it very normal, very practical, in some very small way. And what if one can't? What if one can't? No, Rabbi, I need this. I need it. It's nice to say, so what's the answer then? There's still an answer. Says Yisrael Salanter. You know what the answer is? To channel Gashmias as an aid to Ruchnias. To say, I need this really good thing, great, I'm going to get it. But after I sit down and learn first, I'm going to get it. But then what we're doing is we're taking it that we're not one big fat animal. We're not just a behemoth. We're not that novel Bershus HaTorah that the Ramban is talking about. It goes so much deeper. And now this line, he says, self-mastery is the highest art a man can practice. So Ray Per was nifter 15 minutes before Shkia last Shabbos. Yeah, right for Shabbos. So it's a big shailish they tell his wife, his Rebbitzin. She's not right before Shabbos. Right before Shabbos. Erev Shabbos. It's a big shailish they tell the Rebbitzin. So they decided, you know what? They're going to tell her. They try to call her. She already made early Shabbos. Okay, so they had a kid, an anicle, something. Someone went to tell her. Okay. So her daughter said the whole Shabbos, the daughter who wasn't there with her mother, was wondering, how's mommy doing? Like such a difficult Shabbos, and anyone who's ever been around such a shiva house, it's around such a matzav, there's an iftar, but there's no burial and there's no shiva, but it's Shabbos. It's a very trying situation. So after Shabbos, the daughter calls up her mother, Rebbetzin Per, says, "Mommy, how you doing? How was Shabbos?" "What do you mean it was Shabbos?" She said, "Mommy, what did you do?" She said, "What do you mean what I do? I got up, I went to shul." "Mommy, you went to shul?" She said, "Oh, Shabbos Mavarchim. How could I not go to shul?" And what happened when people were asking, "How's the Rav Shiva? How's he doing?" And I smiled and I nodded and I said, "Hashem has a plan." And with dignity, that's a person who's living life not just what's mutter, what's aser. That's a kadosh. And that comes from a lifetime, as Rav Hirsch writes, self-mastery. And he ends over here. And he says, how do you come to that level? And this is really the lesson that I think we all could take out. He says, how do you come to that level? He says, in order to come is to train ourselves. But training, he says, a deep idea. Let's see if we could internalize this. He says, training is not to be done with that which is expressly forbidden, where any slip would result that you were over an isser. Meaning, we have to train our bodies. It's hard to be in control of ourselves. But if we try to train ourselves with something that, oh, I messed up, now it's over an isser, you're not training yourself. Rather, moral resolve must be tested and strengthened in the realm of that which is permitted. If when you go and you say, I don't need that, this famously is they call the tinus a ravid. The ravid used to say, you leave over something on your plate. And we all know that last bite is the most geschmack bite. You just want it. But if you tell yourself, I don't need it. I don't need it. Maybe it's the 17th scoopful. I don't need it. That last little bit, you're learning to overcome that which is mutter. You gain power and self-mastery, and you make your power and your faculties subservient to God's will. This is a lifetime avodah. This is not easy. We've quoted that Rishon Slanter says to change one midah is harder than learning Shas, and we know Shas is hard. We're not talking about, I give a Daf Yomi shir, so I can make fun of it. We're not talking about just, sitting through a Daf Yomi shir for 20 minutes finishing Shas. Talking about really finishing Shas, but to change one midah is so much harder. So how do we do it? Because we have to become better people. We do it by starting slowly, slowly, slowly to work on that which is mutter, a little bit here, a little bit there, and slowly we'll get there. So